Hi, I'm Shen. I'm here to try to show how you can use Datagen, which is a platform or an MCP tool, to turn your conversation with your LLM app into a working automation. So you can remove a lot of your boring work. So first thing I want to say is Datagen is slightly different from traditional cloud SaaS that you have a fancy UI, you log in. Datagen is a tool that is an MCP as a product. So what does that mean is actually that will allow your LLM app, AI app, whether it's Claude or ChatGPT, to be able to interact with Datagen directly without you going into the UI to interact with that. So the first thing to use Datagen is actually to install that on your AI app, which is MCP compatible. And for this particular use case, I will say we have the best support on Cloud, and I will just use Cloud to showcase the installation process. So first thing is you copy this to your URL, and then you go to Cloud. You just type cloud.ai, and it should be able to lead you to here. And then you just sign or log in, because for me, I already have it. I'll just be able to sign in. Okay, so once I sign in, the next thing, what I need to do is I hit the search and toolbar. Just click this one and manage connectors. One thing is so far a prerequisite is to install on this cloud version of the Cloud AI is that you have to be a pro user. And I would highly recommend everyone to use the pro version of Cloud. It's just really giving me a lot of value. So for this particular video, I will show based on assuming you already have the pro Cloud. So if you have the pro, you can just add this custom connector button. Just type this one, and you say Datagen. And then you put in the URL, just copy from our Datagen landing page, and you just hit add. Yes, so now you can see it's showing as a connector here. The next thing you need to do is to connect it. So once you connect it, some may pop up, some may not. If it's not, you should hit this pop-up button, and you will just bring it to the Datagen sign up page. And if you already have an account, you can just log in here like I do. Okay, it will just bring you back to here. And now you see it turned from connect to configure. It means it's already to be able to use in your cloud. So to check that is very simple. You just go to a new chat, hit this one, and you can see this toggle button of Datagen. And you can now see all the tools that can be used in your cloud.ai. So that's the first part of how to install Datagen on your cloud. The next thing is how do you use Datagen, right? So like I say, Datagen is a tool that actually help you to orchestrate across different MCPs to build automations. So one of the very important building block of Datagen is it allows you to actually add more MCP onto the Datagen, this platform. So to put it more concrete, like for example, today you want an automation that can read your email and learn if there's any important appointment of your email and put it into your calendar. Then actually there are two services that you're using. First is your Gmail service. The other one is your Google Calendar service if you're using Google as your vendor. So actually for Datagen, there's just 3 important steps that you need to take to start your automation. The first thing is you find your required MCPs. For example, it could be It could be your Gmail MCP. It could be your Google Calendar MCP. It could be Dropbox MCP. So there are many MCPs on the internet now. It's almost just like a lot of the apps have their own native MCP, and the Datagen will try to orchestrate across this MCP and give you the final automation. So let's just use some simple example to demonstrate how to add this MCP to Datagen. The first, I would say, one of the source of the MCP I really like to use is Clavis. So Clavis is a directory of the MCP services that you can find many of them. All you need to do is just go get started and create MCP servers. The other one I would recommend is called Composio. They also have a lot of MCP that you can try to grab them. So for this particular example, for example, if I want to do Gmail MCP, right, I can just go to Clavis and create. And one important thing is actually you can see this pop-up window that will ask you to authorize the access to your Google Gmail, for example. So I can just say, hey, I want to do this. Okay, I connected successfully. And then next thing is I just need to copy this thing, go back to Claude and say, hey, can you help me to add Gmail MCP to Datagen? And just show this URL to him so he knows like you're going to use this URL to install this MCP. So it will spin up a tool in Datagen called Add Remote MCP Server. So we just add this Datagen. And then you can see actually it will name it as Gmail, and then this is a server URL that you just created. And you just hit allow once. Yeah, so now you would Claude just say, hey, we successfully added this one. And you can see there are many tools that can be used for your automation. One is like send email, draft email, read email, search email, modify email, delete email, batch, modify, batch, delete, and get attachment of your email to start to use them as part of your automation. And let's try to add one more. And we can go here and say Google Calendar. Yeah, let's just create one more. And see this one, it also pop up this one. Let's continue. And let's again, just copy this one. And Claude is kind of smart enough, so he knows what I'm trying to do. So he tried to add this Google Calendar, and again, this URL for me. And I just hit allow once. Cool. So you have the list calendar, create event, list event, update event, delete event, and add attendance. So that is just now you'll be able to basically finish the second step of install MCP in Datagen. Now you just need to go to the final step, which is start asking Cloud to automate your Google Calendar and Google Gmail. You click this plus sign. This will give it like basically in Cloud, this is to attach some document. And we have prepared some prompt template for you to get started. So you can see here this create end-to-end workflow prompt. Just say, hey, and you can start to type in your task directly and just say, you can do, help me to summarize my email from last 7 days. And you can just add prompt. And here you can also see the whole prompt. Like the transparency is a big part of what we're proud of being Datagen, is you can actually see your end-to-end workflow instruction. You can even try to modify it. So you can see we're trying to ask you to first plan for you and try to bridge the capability gap, try to search if the tool is there, anything is missing, so we can kind of remind you of any more specific question that we need to ask, and like get a user input and then explore tool responses, try to see what the tool available, what the return will look like, and build the workflow finally, and try to clarify whenever there's an uncertainty there. And finally, you can just deploy in this workflow or automation as a scheduled job or as an API that you can use anytime you want. Finally, it would try to summarize what they do and like give you some kind of document and presentations, including like a flow chart, so you know what it has been done for you. So it's just very easy to do. And once you attach this one, you can just go hit start. And you will start to run this automation. First, you will try to create this workflow plan, so on and so forth, and it will start to work out for it. And you can always try to stop it if you say, hey, this is not what I want. Like first, you will try to search the tool. Let's see, you can try to summarize text analysis AI. Try to see if that's anything related to it here. Yeah, you say, okay, I have an AI writer tool that is already in Datagen, because Datagen also have provided some kind of default tool. And you can also just try to stop it anytime you want. That's also like, and just type in whatever you want. But that's how you get started with Datagen. Play with it, feel it, and sometimes Claude made mistake, we made mistake. But you as a user, you can get to see how easy that is. Just by installing this MCP to Datagen, you can quickly create this automation without you needing to dig into all this API integration or knowing where there's no, like going into another different platform like NAN, Clay, or like a Lindy.com. You can just use the cloud that you like, you're already using, and to start to explore how to do the automation. But first thing, try to explore the MCP ecosystem. We hope this tutorial helped you a little bit on how to get started with Datagen. Yeah. Next video, we'll try to go into a specific demo to help you to get started.